everybody, this is Patrick Crawford with Palmer House Properties. This video is for my for sale by owners out there. Today I want to talk a little bit about some effective ways to make the most of your Zillow for sale by owner. So I talked to a lot of private sellers, or for sale by owners as they're more commonly called. These conversations are usually because I find them on Zillow listed as such. And certainly there are all sorts of other ways and outlets to advertise a property yourself, but I just want to focus on Zillow as a tool. So the first thing should seem fairly obvious, but I want to talk about some of the specifics, and that is the pictures that you have on there. Many times I've come across a for sale by owner advertisement that maybe only has a few pictures. Sometimes the pictures are just of the exterior or interior. So you really do want to be able to picture the house in such a way that quote unquote tells the story. Currently in Agent Access FMLS, up to 200 pictures are allowed to be downloaded and uploaded to a listing. This may be overkill because the story of most homes can be told probably in 40 to 60 pictures. You want to focus on your main selling features, your kitchen, any outdoor recreation areas, patios, decks, pools, finished basements, master baths. These are the sort of things that people want to know the most about. And keep in mind, the pictures that show best are the ones that have been manipulated with the lighting. You want things to seem naturally lighted and bright and open. And the spatial orientation. People want to have an idea of the size of the rooms and how they're laid out and compared to one another. So, just a few basic thoughts about the pictures. Oh, and one more thing for sale by owners, please try to stay out of the pictures if you can. I see it a lot of times in bathroom mirrors, and those shots are tough, but the more you can reduce that, I think the better. The second suggestion I have is your contact information needs to be visible on the Zillow page. Zillow is constantly updating the way they look for both listed and for sale by owner properties. You have to understand that Zillow is really, it's a money-making machine, and they're trying to funnel leads towards the agents and agency teams that pay to capture those buyer leads on those website platforms. So if you've noticed over time, the advertisements for your Zillow for sale by owner ad, the visibility of your homeowner contact information has become less and less, while the contact information of agents and lenders has become more and more. So to combat this, at the beginning of your description that you have control over, do what you can to get your name and your contact information, the best phone number, and an email address if you're willing to, and suggest that buyers reach out to you directly for quickest response, to access the property and for most complete information. And again, I understand there are places on the page for you to put this information, but those places are set in areas of the page that are designed to, again, capture buyer leads for subscribing agents. Okay, so the third thing I also wanted to talk about was the use of pricing as a tool. So you'll notice that Zillow pages have this pesky figure right there in the mainline information about the property, top of the page, called, in most cases, pages have this. It's called a Zestimate. Zestimates are notoriously flawed. It's kind of a running joke amongst agents in the industry. They're familiar with Zillow as a tool, and in fact, the CEO founder of Zillow famously had his home misrepresented by upwards of 40% when he went to sell it, and it was featured on Zillow. So agents know that Zestimates cannot be relied on, whether they're overpriced or underpriced. Most consumers don't really realize this, and they do tend to rely on them as a bit of an indicator. You have to consider, when you're selling your home, it's not likely you're going to guess the exact number it's going to sell for. I mean, you might, but it's not likely. What's a better strategy is to price your home in a way that will show up in the most buyer searches. And the way to do that is to price it in such a way that it's falling within the increments that most buyers are searching for. And those increments tend to be either $15,000 or $25,000 or $50,000. So make sure that your price ends in a 0 or a 5 almost exclusively. And try, if you can, if it's reasonable to, and this is again how you feel about the value of the home, if it's reasonable to either bump it up or down to that next $15,000 or $25,000 increment. Anyway, again, the idea is to get you the most exposure and help you sell it if you can. These are the kind of thoughts and ideas that are similar to how we treat listed property and the strategies that we use to make the most amount of money for our clients. So if you've got any questions about what we can do to help in any way, please feel free to reach out. Thanks again for watching. I hope this helps, and best of luck.